Welcome to Win with lifestyle entrepreneurs Josh Williams and Justin Knoll. Each week, we will be bringing you inspiring people or messages to help you win in every aspect of life.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the next edition. We took last week off. I apologize.
We did. It was a good week to take off, though. You know, we had kind of a little holiday in there, and you were in Mexico, and I was in California, so that was a hard one to put together.
Yes, it was.
I mean, we could have had Gavin just do it for us, but...
We probably will. This is probably our last go at this. We're just going to turn it over to Gavin here.
Perfect.
So, hey, what's up, guys? Josh and I are excited to have our first guest on the podcast.
First guest, Gavin.
First guest.
First guest.
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure.
I know.
Don't screw this
We're
up.
putting it on you.
Because you guys have like thousands of followers and
Just 300.
yeah.
Just 300.
Right.
So
Big
It
time.
makes me nervous.
hopefully after today we'll get thousands with you on.
Yeah,
so.
That's right.
Okay.
If
We're
you
going to
don't
tap
know,
into your group.
This is Gavin Higashi. He is one of the best title reps in the entire state. Everywhere, all the time, high level of service. He's a really positive guy, just always upbeat, energetic, willing to help, and just a great guy. So, First American.
First American.
There we go. Got it right.
Yeah, we were questioning that.
Yeah, First
Right?
American.
I mean,
First
I don't
American, you
know.
said it as a question, right? Which one is it again? I mean, you're really good. Which one
Definitely
is it?
First American. It's not Last American. I know that much. That's for sure.
I love it.
So, hey guys, this week we want to talk a little bit about giving. We're in the season of giving, and I think when we talk about giving so much, we think of things, we think of possessions, we think of gifts and all that, and we will talk a little bit about that, but there's so much more to giving than just possessions. So we want to spend some time talking about that today. I think Gavin is a great person to have on here for that because he is the ultimate giver when it comes to just the abundance mindset you're always giving. So
Yeah, for sure. I want to say what's up. We got some people that jumped on here today. So those that aren't just listening to the podcast, but that jumping on the webcast through Facebook Live. I mean, we got Damon Eddy, Tony Ashworth, Britt, we got Betsy, we got Lucas. I mean, we got Eric Bell on here. We got some people jumping on. So what's up, everybody? Thanks for jumping on. You guys, we love that you interact with us. If you have questions, throw them out, and we'll try to get to them. But we'll go from there. So, Gavin, with that being said, when we kind of introduce you, why don't you introduce yourself, tell people who you are, what you do.
Right on.
We talked about your driving earlier. We know that's not good, but maybe we can talk about everything else that's good about you.
Oh man, I gotta be careful. I don't want to get too comfortable and just start saying whatever I want. Yeah, let me focus a little bit. Exactly. So my name's Gavin Higashi. I was born and raised in Arvada, Colorado. I've got two boys. I have a son that's almost 16 and kind of scares the heck out of me. And I've got a 13-year-old son. And,
I live close to you, so that kind of scares me too. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, just when you're walking on the sidewalks, walk closer to the grass. And maybe you'll be okay.
you'd be right.
Been married for 18 years to my high school sweetheart, Nikki. We met in high school, and she wanted nothing to do with me. But, after a good 5 to 10 years, I converted her. So that worked out good.
I mean, you are good in sales. I mean, it takes you a while to get that initial go.
Patient.
But once you're in, it's like, that's
patient.
it. That's who I go with. Yes.
Definitely takes time, but I'm patient. I know eventually I'll get to where I need to get to. That's about it, man. I sell title insurance. I've been in title for 20 years. Started in real estate when I was 18, got my license. I looked like I was 8 years old, and so it was
And
a
he
tough
just turned
transition
10,
for
so
me.
we're good.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a tough transition for me to try and sell people houses when I look like a little kid. But regardless, it got me into this industry, and I'm very grateful for that.
That's awesome.
And you're pretty humble about it. I mean, Gavin, you do some amazing things. I mean, for those that are watching and listening, I plug into you as I call you one of my ambassadors of Quan, man. Anybody that's ever seen Jerry Maguire, Gavin is somebody I plug into, I follow, his teachings, the things that he talks about, he does. What's the Gavin Higashi Insights, what's it called?
Positive Insight
That's
interview.
what I said, Positive Insights interview that I copied and created Passing the Positive. You do a great, amazing things that we all plug into. So if you guys aren't plugging into Gavin Higashi, whether it's title or whatever it is, you need to plug into his insights, his interviews that he does. He brings on amazing people within the industry and learns from them. So I'm glad that you're super humble. That's good, but there's a lot more to you than what you just said.
Right. I want to ask. 18 years married to your high school sweetheart, and we're in the season of giving, right? And that's the theme of today. Give us some advice, both of you, because you're how long in?
A long time.
The life sentence, right?
Yeah, 20 plus, man.
20 plus years, 18 plus years. I'm about 4 or 5 months in.
That's
perfect.
Y'all got to start somewhere, right?
Give us, the people out here advice on how to make things not just work. I think that's one thing we get sucked into is talking about how do we make this work. I don't do anything just to make it work. Right? Life is not about just being fine or doing anything. There are words in our household that are kind of off limits, and those are sure and fine and I don't care. We do not say those things. If they come up, I pretend we didn't even hear it. So I don't want to live life in the sure state and if things are fine. Talk to us about these long-term relationships. And I know both of your wives, and you guys are madly in love still like it's day one. And it's inspiring as can be. Give us some advice, some thoughts.
Go ahead, Gavin. Go ahead.
Again, because it took me 10 years to get her to even look at me. The reality is everyone I see, they always mess with me. They're like, you completely outpunted your coverage, and I'm okay with that. I accept that very much. The thing for me is just appreciating the history and appreciating what you're building together. And when you look back, so we've been together for 22 years. When I look back on that, I am so grateful for that time with her. And so I think that's what keeps us going so strong is like we look back at the history and we're so grateful for those struggles, for those trials. Everything we went through has built us to what we're at, and you cannot replace that. And I don't care what people say. You cannot replace the time spent in anything, and specifically in your marriage.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. That's all. How about you over there?
Yeah, man. Dude, I out-punted my coverage as well, but she was bobbing and weaving. I was trying to tackle her. Man, she's got moves that nobody else has even seen, man. That spin move, that stiff arm, the Heisman. Trisha's got those moves down. But I finally figured out how to tackle her, man, and it was good. 4 kids later, you couldn't ask for, every marriage relationships goes through its struggles and downtimes, but we have always found a way as a couple to kind of bounce back from those, right? I'm somebody that does not go to bed angry, and sometimes that might frustrate people, but I go to bed, and before we go to bed, it's, hey, I love you, or, I just, if we get an argument, it rolls off the shoulders, right? And we move on, and it's constantly moving on. Because you're learning from what those mistakes were. Not if she's watching, she'll tell you I still make a lot of them, right? There's a lot of time where my balance is off and I need to get more life or family balance and those types of things. But I think the reason why we've been together and the reason we've grown together this long is because we're willing to still make those adjustments to know that we're making mistakes and learn from those mistakes and forgive each other, right? That's the biggest thing. You just can't move on holding any kind of grudges or issues, and you just move on to it. You fall in love, and our relationship is better today than it's ever been.
Yeah.
I love my wife. She's amazing. She handles everything she needs to handle to keep our family going, so that it allows me to go do the things I need to do. So our balance within our marriage is so good that allows us both to be, successful at what we do.
Yeah. So obviously, the three of us are super blessed to have amazing women on our side and right next to us. And
I've known your wife longer than I've known my wife, so you're good hands,
your
man.
Cousin,
right?
Your cousin.
Don't say that out loud, right?
That's funny.
Any good words you might have put in for me?
She's amazing.
I think that some of the best advice that my parents gave me were exactly what you guys are talking about: is do not keep score.
Right.
And always ask yourself, is this the hill I want to die on? Meaning, if you get into a disagreement or there's some shift in the energy and you feel somebody's off, do you attack? Do you go into defensive mode? What do you do? And I think what I learned from them is just to understand. Ask yourself, slow it down. Is this really worth it? Am I willing to die on the mat for this? And if you are, great. Then it becomes a different discussion.
Yeah.
But if you're not, let it go. Let it go.
100%,
man.
Yeah,
so you guys have kids. I've got 2 step kids now, which is amazing and a whole new life experience. But you guys have been at this a long time. What do you give your kids as kind of a path to being better humans and better people and kind of carrying on what you guys have done in such great ways? What are you giving to them?
Gosh, for me, I don't know. That's a tough question. I guess the thing for me is always just teaching my kids really where we come from, the sacrifices of people before us, making sure that they understand how lucky they are to be in the spot that they're in. You know, my grandparents immigrated to Hawaii, worked on the plantations. It was tough, and they sacrificed a ton to start our family. And then my parents sacrificed a ton. So I just want my kids to see, like, there's so many people that put in effort to lay out this groundwork for you. Don't lose that opportunity by just not appreciating that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like
totally.
you gotta know where you come from to know how you're gonna move forward. And there's so many people that put in so much effort to get to where we're at now. And they just need to keep building on top of it. Each generation has to keep growing with that.
I just got goosebumps because I think so many people want to just push, like life just started here where we are in our beautiful home, driving our cars.
Yep.
Like that was it, the beginning of life for their kids. And they don't spend a lot of time talking about the past and how we got to this place because not everybody has what we had. Our forefathers certainly did not. So that's awesome, man.
Well, and you can see it. You can see it in families now that are just coming to the United States and just starting to build their foundation. You can see the struggles and what they go through to just get started. And if your kids can kind of see that, and I can kind of see that, just as a good reminder of like, hey man, this didn't just happen.
Yeah,
it's taken a lot of people's effort to get us to this point.
Yeah. I love how Gavin takes it back to not only just his childhood or his parents' childhood, but just culturally and what his ancestors and everybody has done to get to where they're at. It's a much deeper conversation at that point, right? That your kids realize, wow, we have come a long, long way. And I love that you put it on them to say, yeah, but it's on you to continue that, right? That piece of it is huge to me. I mean, and it's something that, even though, my ancestors and stuff was maybe a different model of how they got there, I love that I can go put that on my kids and say, hey, look, these are the things that you need to do to, move forward. Justin and I, we've talked about it. We grew up pretty dead broke, with, no money. I mean, my first trip was to Grand Junction for a baseball tournament, which was, not exciting. The only reason I got to go is because the league paid for it because we won the Little League majors, right? And so we, my family, my girls being able to experience, all the trips they go on and the stuff that we're given. My two oldest ones got to live through the point where we lost everything. And back in 2007 and 2008, we foreclosed on the house, cars repoed. They got to experience that. So they get a little more grounded, right? But my next two, it was all after the recovery, right? So they got to see when we were doing better, the money was coming in and those types of things. So it's super important that I'm trying to explain to them what you're doing is, hey, it's not that good. Like, that's why they don't get a $50,000 car when they turn 16. That's why they get dad's hand-me-downs, right? Yeah. I don't want to give them everything that, some of these people give to their kids where they just kind of feel entitled for the rest of their life. Yep. I don't want my kids to ever feel entitled. I want them to know they got to work hard. They have to set their, their roots in, and they got to get after things to achieve the things they want in life. Yeah. It's a lot bigger than what they can just be given. Right. They have to go out and achieve those things themselves.
I mean, that's probably been one of the hardest things, though, as a parent, is getting your kids, because their experiences are going to be different than yours, right? So that's been the hardest thing, is like get them to go through experiences where they were really put through turmoil or challenged, right? Mm-hmm. My youngest son has gone through a ton, and the kid is just so resilient, so strong, and mentally just really, really tough. I mean, he's been through so much. I'm so inspired by him. But my older son, I don't think he's really gone through much. Yeah. I think he broke his arm once. And anyways.
And that's because he was messing with his little brher, dude. Yeah, right?
I just want him to know, like, hey, this is... You got to go through some struggles to learn, and that's the hardest part of being a parent is trying to give them what you can, but at the same point making them go through those challenges.
Yeah.
Well, I think that goes right along with leadership, right? We all kind of play leadership roles within our lives and within our professions of what we do. How can we get the people that we're leading ready, prepared to take that next step in their life? What are the things that we can give them to help them get ready for their aha moment where they can move on?
So I kind of reflected on this. The giving side is for me on the leadership side. How can you give what you have, what knowledge you have, what experience you've had, and all these things. How can you give that to somebody and point them in a direction of leadership? Obviously, they want to lead, you hope at least. So I think identifying them through, finding their energy, their passion, their excitement for stuff, that's the first identification of, hey, this could be a leader, right? Not everybody's up for it. Once you find them, I think that giving them, what I've kind of found is space and time to find themselves within the leadership role, right?
Yeah.
Do I really want this? Is this something that exciting to me? Is this a burden or is this something I'm really excited about? But that space and time, and I think when you're talking about new leaders, the industry, there's no doubt, real estate is, the average realtor is 57, 58 years old. The average consumer is 31 to 34. There's a huge gap there, right, between the two, and that we're trying to bridge that gap. That's what we're trying to do here. But when we identify leaders, or we're trying to get people into, whatever it is, what I found is you have to give them time and space, but you also have to be very clear about the expectations and also very clear about what you see in them. Yeah. This is why I want you to pursue this, because you've got such a wonderful personality that allows people to feel at ease, or you've got a great mind for the operations side, and I want you to lead on this. But I think what we don't do a lot of is tell them specifically what you see in them and how they can use that, and now create the time and space in their mind and heart to go, okay, let me soak this in and let it marinate for a little bit, and then help them kind of down that path. But I think we just go right into it so many times, like, you're a leader, this is it, let's just go, and we don't take the time to explain all that stuff. So that's one thing I want to give, is more clarity to people about what we do see in them and how we can help them develop and all that stuff on the leadership side. So that's the giving thought I have this week, is giving them clarity.
I love that. I love the clarity piece of it. Gavin, you've built your business on giving. Man, you give all the time. It's one thing that I absolutely just, of the many things I love watching about you, is I love how much you give. Like, what's your mindset behind that? What are the things that you've learned in your career that have kind of directed you that way?
Man, I don't know. I think it just comes natural. I don't know if it's from my parents or what, but I just give because that's what my mind does. Yeah. Like, I don't know any different. You know what I mean? So I've always looked for an opportunity or a way to support people in whatever they're doing, if it's with their family or their profession, or they just need a little bit of help. It's just natural for me to just help, because I know in the long run, like, that will stick with people, right? And Gary Vaynerchuk says all the time, right? Like, you give to give with no expectation. No. You just give, because the moment you expect something in return, then you're not giving, right? But the reality is the return always comes. It always comes, but you just don't know how it's going to come back, but it will always come. And I don't know, man. It's just natural. I think you're just looking out for people. You're empathetic to people's situations, and you appreciate them as human beings, and you just want to be there for them. Does that make sense?
100%.
I don't have like a real defined answer of why you give. I just do it.
It's just who you are.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Is that arrogant to say, like, oh, I like to give, so I'm so awesome?
No.
But no.
Is there such thing as an arrogant giver? Gavin, the arrogant giver.
I'm the best at giving.
That's right.
No, it's just a natural thing. I think when your mindset is about other people, then naturally if you're thinking of other people, what else are you doing for them other than giving to them?
Right.
Right.
Yep. And it doesn't have to be stuff, right? It can be all kinds of time,
it could be time,
energy, advice.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are both kind of the kings of that. I mean, you guys give that stuff out all the time like it's candy. I mean, Justin, I remember we talked about this on one of the podcasts. I called you one night, and you're writing down something great for every single person in Madison, right? I mean, Gavin, this is cool. I mean, I constantly watch you just give, whether you're teaching people how to, do social media, or you're teaching people just different things about the industry and aspects of life, and now you're doing these interviews, which is now helping people learn from other people. Like, you guys are kings of giving, right? And it's super inspiring to watch that. That's why I copy you both all the time. Nothing I do is original. I'm just kidding. That's just a little bit, but you guys are so good at that, and I want you guys both to know that is inspiring. I hope that everybody listening and watching gets that piece of it. That you guys are both very, very successful people within your careers, and it's amazing to watch how much you guys give rather than receive and how that correlates back to your success.
Yeah.
One thing I see in people is, it's kind of weird to say, and I've never really said this out loud, but I always see this every person is flammable, right? There's this fuel in them that can catch fire and really just go crazy, right? And so my game with myself and through our day and here in our office and our company is, how do you light one spark that ignites that flammable, fuel inside somebody that you just go, man, this is it. Sometimes it's a handwritten note, sometimes it's a text, sometimes it's a phone call, sometimes it's just having somebody come in and talk for 10 minutes or an hour-long coaching session, or taking somebody to lunch or dinner, or writing their spouse a note and just saying you're thankful for them. There's so many ways, but we play that game all the time. I don't do the same things over and over. I mean, it's a constant chase of how can I be specific to this person. So the first thing it takes is listening.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what makes you so good, is you listen all the time.
You're so smart. No, you're really smart. Josh is smart too, but just kidding.
I like how you threw that part. Oh, and then he throws the just kidding in there. What the heck?
Josh is smart also. No, I mean, just that lighting the flame in somebody and finding that, like, everyone has that fuel, and everyone has that flame, and you want to figure out how to ignite that. That's really cool. It's a good way to look at people, and I've not looked at it that way.
I'm always just trying to find the way in, right? Just how do I get that thing there? I know for our client base, we always ask people, we don't ask questions about how many bedrooms and baths you want in a house. Like, if we can't figure that out through our discussion, we're idiots, right? We shouldn't be doing this. The questions we ask are, what is your long term?
Yeah.
And not just goals like, I want to retire at such and such an age, but we ask questions like, if you could live anywhere in Colorado, where would it be? Or in the world, where would it be? And we play on that later down the road and give them something about, people say, if everything was perfect, we'd live in Maui. Well, why not in 6 months find something beautiful from Maui and deliver it to them? And that sparks their, oh my gosh, number one, they listened and they're helping us on this path. And number two, it's a reminder constantly, that fuel is constantly looking at that spark and going, man, maybe there's something there. They walk by that picture of Maui in their house all the time. Maybe it sparks them to get on a better financial path, or to really game plan how they're going to do this. So I don't know.
You just took us to fuel, which excites me, because what that does is that tells me if we got something going fuel, we got a fat kid moment of the week, right? Because I got to fuel my fatness.
You got the fat.
So let's take a quick second.
So is that a real thing?
Yeah,
that is
we
a real
have a
thing,
fat
Gavin.
kid moment every week where we talk about our disgusting habits as fat kids to our core. And we lay it out there. We're very honest about it, Gavin. So you need to think about it.
Oh, you have a song for it too?
Apparently,
I was trying to look up the Fat Albert. Hey, bring that in. We'll get better about those sound effects as we go. But hey, anytime I'm eating something kind of fat at home and my wife's like, hey, what's up? I'll hear that in the background. Hey, and it could be her. It could be my 16-year-old who just turned 16, scary, but anyhow, let's talk. Justin, you were in Mexico, which is like
Mexico.
you're just gonna get fat
central,
right? It's fat central because it's everything good.
Man,
so what was your fat kid moment of
the fat kid moment of the week? This is no joke. We were packing up to come home and getting the suitcases weighed. We got to be under 50 pounds, right? So I'm on the scale. And then you pick up the bag, and then you do the math and figure out how much does your bag weigh, right? So both bags came in at 49.5 pounds, I will tell you, and the carry-ons were packed to the gills. But the fat kid moment was stepping on that scale the first time after about a week and a half not seeing it, and I was like, oh, hell no. They don't use weight the same. It's not the same calculation.
Gravity is different down there.
I flipped it over. I'm like, this is on pounds, not kilograms. All right. So the fat kid moment, I ate pretty decent while we were gone. I didn't go crazy. No late night snacking, which we've been working on. The drinks, man. The sugary Mai Tais and basil and mango drinks, and the constant back and forth to the bar.
Sounds worth it.
I go to my trainer the other day. It was so worth it. I go to my trainer. She's like, there's like 400 calories per drink. And I'm like,
Yeah.
So I had like 4,000 calories in one day. In drinks. Like,
hey,
what is wrong with
us? Be in Mexico. That's the reason why you cut weight and you do things the right way all the way until that point. is so you can enjoy those things.
I mean, that would have been ideal had I done that.
That's true. Yeah, we would have had other non-fat weeks if we would have done that. So, Gavin, you're new, man. You're doing this whole little CrossFit. Damon Eddy came on here earlier and said, Gavin, are you a CrossFitter? And I almost started laughing because I know he's kind of a CrossFitter. He wants to be, and he'll get there because, like he talked about earlier, it's a 5 to 10 year process. But what was your fat kid moment?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to think.
I mean, Twinkies. I mean, what is it, man? I don't know.
What is it? I
What's
don't
your
know.
Kryptonite?
What's your besides
Salami
alcohol?
and cheese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cheese and salami, like at 1 a.m. is like.
Oh.
Well, maybe 11:30, but
late night.
Yeah, cheese and salami. That's always been my go-to.
I love it.
Go-to vice. It's good.
Nikki, did you get the cheese and salami from the store? I need that tonight. It's gonna be a late night if we don't have it. Oh, that's awesome.
It's actually been good. So she's not been buying it. But if she buys it, it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
With no control. Are you kidding me?
No.
My wife came home yesterday from the grocery store, happy as can be, doing jumping jacks, basically. Like, I didn't buy any junk. I got all this good stuff. I'm like, okay, well, that's how it's supposed to be all the time.
Right, yeah.
So, but thank you for doing that. It definitely helps.
That girl Piper. I was in Cali, which is, we don't have In-N-Out. So we turn automatically, even though it is good, but it's not like, wow, that was the most amazing food I've ever had. It's just, it's good, right? But, you got to get a double with a chocolate shake. There's, you just have to do it, right? And then when you're done with that,
get another
when you're
one.
in California, it's like you can drink a lot, you can eat a lot. I don't know, sea level thing, dude. So then you go get some wings and, you go to the local shops and, I can't even tell you how many late night wings we had. They have this thing out there called a Terra Buffacue, which is wing sauce, which is 3 sauces mixed. I went back to that place at least 3 times. It's Cali as a fat kid moments. And then you go walk the beach, and you feel like, oh, that was good. I walked the beach, and I didn't drop in. I came back like 6 pounds up. So I had my fitness guy in the office yesterday giving me a 12-week workout, and I'm like, hey, we got to get after this. But I had a fat week. Justin had a fat week. Gavin, you're not fat, so your conversation's not good. But
making us feel bad. Thanks.
I do not feel like I'm part of that group. I'm just saying. I definitely am in the schmedium.
There you go. You are the happy
fat kid
schmedium.
moment of the week. The schmedium moment of the week, maybe, but. That's funny, man.
Yeah,
I
we're
love that you
talking
guys
about
have a segment.
pastrami and cheese, and we're talking about freaking wings and In-N-Out and freaking fried dumplings, and I don't even know why I said that, but fried dumplings in Mexico.
No, I'm hungry.
I'm so fascinated by that sauce that you said. So it's teriyaki, buffalo, and barbecue?
Yeah, Terra Buffacue.
And they mix it up? Is it good?
It's phenomenal. There's a place in Cali, Oceanside, California, called PCH, and that's where I found it. It's this little dive. You would never know, and then all of a sudden you roll by it, and you're like, oh, let's just go in, because that's what you do when you're on vacation, right? I didn't have the family. I'm just out there with a guy, and PCH, we roll in, and it's got a lot of beers on tap for those guys that like to drink, and there they had Terra Buffacue. Now, here's the thing. It would have been okay if I just did Terra Buffacue wings, but they had some nachos that looked real good, so we need to throw some nachos on there.
So this podcast is about eating.
It's therapy mostly.
I love it.
There's a lot of different directions that we go here. This is one of them. But
you guys are going to get some sweet sponsors, man.
That's right.
We got to be honest here and talk about our real life struggles. I mean, if we try and hide from it, it's just not. We're not going to connect with the people. So we got to be honest and real and just lay the gut out there and just let it hang.
I love it.
Let it be.
It's awesome.
As we were talking about the fat kid moment, Damon Eddy posted a little something onto Facebook that I really love that I think goes right along with what we're talking about today, and that is you can have everything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want by Zig Ziglar, right? I mean, that is the key right there. I mean, that's what we focus on. That's the reason why we do this podcast. That's the reason why I do my Passing the Positive, your insights, your coaching and stuff that you do, Justin, is we're just trying to help as many people as we can grow in life so that they can get the things that they want. I mean, that pretty much nails it on the head right there.
Yeah, and I kind of took that as something different as well. So I can have a double cheeseburger today if I bring everybody a double cheeseburger?
Yes.
Is that what
yes,
it don't matter?
Help everyone get to the
calories
plan.
are free?
Yes.
I'm still stuck on the food.
Yeah.
Dang it. No, Damon, I love that. That is that's fantastic. So we're heading into Christmas, holidays, all this stuff, and give, and get, and all these gifts and all this stuff. What's your focus over the next 30 days and about giving, and how do you do this with your families as well? What do you guys do for the holidays, giving?
Man, this time of year is really hard for me.
Yeah.
It always has been. So in Title, we have to be very visible. So we go to tons of parties.
Yeah.
We had a Christmas party last night. There's a Santa photo event on Saturday, and then next week is another thing, and then the next week is another. Like, there's just so many activities. Yeah. And the thing that I always have to just keep reminding myself about is just that I'm doing my job. I'm being present and seeing people and supporting what they're doing. But I have to really refocus and still try to be present at home. And that's definitely the hardest part. Is this time of year is just, it wears on us because I'm not home that much. And
Yeah.
I'm so out with clients and out with our real estate community that I'm not home. So I have to really remind myself to be home and give at home. And that's the big thing for me is make sure that I am trying to give time at home.
Reading, well, probably not at this age, but
my 16-year-old we sit down. There's a couple really good, what is it, like Berenstein
like,
Bear
hey,
books.
let's listen to this Gary Vee podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I love about that though is that you say that you need to be when you're at home, you need to be at home, right? You need to be present on that point. That's something I kind of fall into a lot. Is when I get home and all of a sudden I'm still on the phone, right? I'm still checking stuff. When we're out during this time, when we're busy and we're doing all these parties and all the events that we're doing, that is true that when you're at home, you need to really focus, right? You need to put the computer down, put the phone down, watch some movies with your family, have conversations, like really be engaged. I will tell you that if my wife was watching this right now, she would tell me tonight when I get home, hey, I heard your podcast today, go put your phone upstairs, right? So that is something I just threw my hat over the fence. Like we really need to focus on. I love that that's one of the things that you're very cognizant of is that, hey, I need to be present here as well.
Well, and I need to be good at it, right? Like, I know I'm not very good at it, but I mentally know what I need to try to do. So, like you saying, put the phone down, that's awesome. I need to do that.
One thing that I did that changed everything for me was my phone 100% of the time is on silent.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 365 days a year, it is on silent. I'll check it when I'm ready. And I think we get so sucked into, well, I'm just got to be prepared. It's like we treat ourselves like a drive-through restaurant, right? Like fast food. Like, oh, God, here comes somebody. They're coming. We got to make this snappy.
Yes, we went back to food right there, Gavin.
Right, exactly. Yes. Damn, that's so bad. What is wrong with us?
We got to go get some breakfast.
Have you ever had fast food? Here's another analogy. Cheeseburgers.
I'm hungry already. Love it. So, but having my phone off, and I'll check it when I need to, what it does is, I mean, there's times at night I'll go 2-3 hours without even looking at my phone, and it's just there's nothing on there that I need. We think everything is an emergency, and that transfers the energy over to our families. Now they think there's an emergency going on, or you're on call, and their tension is up, and you can physically watch it in kids. I watch this all the time, and with our life as well. When we get on our phone and we're not connected, if you watch the behavior of the kids, it shifts, it changes, their energy changes, and now they're on this high alert and this anxiety is kicking in, and we're doing ourselves no favors. So put your phone on silent. One thing that we do is stack phones sometimes on tables during meetings. Everybody in the meeting, put your phone in the middle. Stack it up. First one that goes and gets their phone has to buy everybody food. Here we go again.
Weird.
I have no shot. I'm going to be fat forever.
Is it burritos? What is it? Yeah.
But you either the contributor, we've done this, contribute to their charity or do something for them. But really, it's so much. This thing is just, it's the worst energy and attention stealer on earth. And I think that's huge. If we can just give our time and energy back, just give. Give.
And this is a good month. I mean, here's the thing: this is a big giving month, right? You're going to get some stuff as well, but like there is nothing more exciting. And we talked about this in the last one: is when you're sitting down and you get to watch your kids open those presents that they, things that they might want. What's even more exciting is that when you know you're giving to a family that has nothing, right? And that you are their Christmas. That's what's even more exciting, to know that, yes, your kids got some stuff, but they already have stuff, right? But you're giving to a family that doesn't have anything, that you can actually give them that excitement and that enjoyment that your family always gets. Yeah. How cool is that, right? That's one thing I want to challenge everybody is find a family that's less fortunate. We've talked about giving and building and, people as a whole, but there's also the giving to the families that are less fortunate. There is a reason behind that. They're not just less fortunate because, they choose to be. There is something behind that has led them to that. So let's help give them that, even if it's just that one day that they can put that smile back on their face, right? Yeah. That's the things that I think makes this time of year so amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely. So much opportunity to give. We're sponsoring a family, I know, as our family is. We're not doing gifts anymore.
Yeah.
It's just not where we are. There's so much need out there. Let's take care of others. Yep. So that's what we're doing. I love it. Thank you you said that last time and it sparked us.
So you're doing that as a family? Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah.
I've never done that. That's really good.
Include the kids.
I mean, we do so much with work and other offices. We give to all kinds of different stuff,
Yep.
but yeah, that's great. I'm learning so much from this. I'm hungry.
Right? I was just going to say.
I'm hungry. Yeah.
No, seriously, that's a great angle, though, don't get just so focused on the business side of it. Focus on the family side of it. And if you can tie your kids and your family into the giving to another family,
yep,
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Good. Well, I feel like we made a difference a little bit today.
That's it. Maybe. We talked really a lot about food, and so we know what not to do there. But yeah, no, Gavin, we are so appreciative of you taking time, and you are a busy guy. The fact that you would take an hour to come sit with us, man, I just can't thank you enough. I mean, it's constant growth that I get from you. It's constant that you're giving to me to help me become a better person. So thank you for coming on today and giving that to us. I appreciate it,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
It's the best. I was excited when you said yes. So.
Thanks for the invite, man.
First one. We may never have another guest. Just you've nailed it.
Yeah.
So
sure. Yeah. Well, that's very generous. I don't think that's true. But
all right, maybe we'll just have to bring him back more often. How about we go that route?
I think we did also agree now that if you come on our podcast to be a guest, you have to bring snacks. So
yes.
Well, Cheetos, I know, is something that you enjoy. It's so funny. If we go back to the very first appointment, the first time I met you when I was trying to call on you for business.
Yep.
That got brought up. Like,
yes.
Oh, you can just swing by my office and bring a bag of Cheetos, and there's a high likelihood I'll probably start sending you deals.
Here's the deal. He's changed a little bit. You need to bring baked Cheetos now.
Oven baked
still bring Cheetos. Just make sure they're baked Cheetos.
Oh my gosh,
kale
I love
chips.
it so much.
Just bring kale chips. I don't even care.
It's all coming full circle.
Love it.
It's awesome.
Dude,
guys, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
I love what you guys are doing.
Let's
keep up the good work.
Let's go keep winning the day, baby.
Let's
win
go
the
win the day.
You guys go give any way that you can. People need it more than ever. So here we go.
That's it. That's it.
All right, y'all.
All right, hey guys,
Next
number
week.
love for you. Have a great week. Plug into us next week. We'll be back same time, maybe a different day. What are we, Thursday next week? Cora, what do you know?
We don't know.
We always go to Cora for our stuff, and now
Stay
she's
tuned.
shaking her head because I just put her on the spot. But we know it's something like that. So next Thursday, I believe it is 8:30. Come check us out. You guys, nothing but love for you.
All right, y'all. Peace.
See ya.